Hello student, in this video we are going to learn next point, that is about data table and data row. So it is one of the concept, as in a data table we can create a table in a memory and we can store this table in a memory for processing. Even we can store, once we create this table, we can store this table into this data set also, and even we can use this data set to create a data table. So here we are going to study simple that how to create a table. Now what is a table? Table, it consists of, it is of rows and the columns. So first of all we have to make the columns, and with the help of the columns we can make the rows. So columns means it is a structure. So after defining the structure we can add some data into that columns. So data table, it is a class, and it is the part of or the member of this system.data namespace. So before you are writing the code in the C#, you have to add this namespace, that is system, using system.data. Then this data table class will become active while coding. So remember that, add this statement using system.data to enable this data table class and related properties of this data table. Now along with the data table, first thing that we have to add the column, and after that we can add some rows into that. So adding the columns means, first of all we will add structure, that suppose employee, then having employee ID, employee name, then employee contact number, employee personal details. So that information will be in the form of the columns, and rows will represent its actual data. So these data which we are creating, that will be stored temporarily in the memory. So it is also called as an in-memory relational data. Now we will see that how to create it. These are the some properties that we can create a columns, we can apply the constraint to that. Even we can use a data set, it can return the data set. We can use a different views, we can customize the view of that data table. Then we can assign the relationship to the child and the parents data table. We can assign the primary key, rows, and the table name. Among that, we are going to focus on the columns, rows, and this table name. With this data table, there are different methods also. It is for accepting the changes. So if we do some change, then whether it is committed, whether it is successfully done or not, that will be checked with the accept changes. Clear, it will clear all the data table will be get deleted. Then clone, it will just copy the structure of the table, and it will not copy the actual data or information of the table for the clone. Copy, it will copy the schema, it will copy the structure, as well as it will copy the content of the table. New row, this method it is used to create a new row. Reject changes, so it will not accept the changes. If we have done some changes with the data table, then it will reject all the changes. Reset, it will reset to the original positions, and the select it is used to select this data set. Now this data table class, majorly it provides the properties as of, we can remove that table with the help of clear, we can copy the table, we can clone the table. Difference is that copy means it will copy the schema as well as actual information, and the clone means it will copy only the schema information. Now we will see how to execute this, or how to do the programming with the help of this data table and the row concept, data row concept. So let's see this program. So here, first of all, we have to create a table, data table. Then we have to add the columns. Then we have to add the rows. And these information which is present in the memory, that should be visible to the users. For that, we have to add this information. To represent it, we will take a grid view. So what is a grid view? Grid view, it is used to represent your data in a tabular form. So how to retrieve it? So just go to the toolbox and here type grid. So here you will get the grid view, and this drag this grid view over here. So the new grid view will be added. So right now I'm having this one grid view, so no need of it. Just add this grid, and then we have to do some coding. Let's go to the C# coding part. Now here you can see, go to the page load part. Here you can see that we are first creating the table, then columns. We'll go one by one. In namespace, just we have discussed that we have to add one namespace as in a system.data. So add this namespace system.data. Suppose comment this one and let's check what happened. Now it shows an error, you can see here, and it gives that error that this namespace could not be found or it is missing. Show potential fixes. So here it is showing that you can add using system.data or system.data.data table. Simply add system.data and comment this part. Now after adding the table, data table, this is a class, create its object with any name. Here table has been taken as a name, is equal to new data table. So when your page get loaded, it will create the object of the data table class. After creating the object, this object will be used to add the columns and the rows. So data table, that is the object, data table object dot columns dot add. Here you can add the number of columns. Now how many columns are here? There are the 3 columns, ID, then name and the email. So these 3 columns will be get added. After that we have to add the row information, that is actual information. This will be worked as your structure, column structure, and here it contains your actual information. So this is your 101 will be your first column contained. Then this one, it is the second column contained, and this email ID, it is in a third column contained. So in this way it will be get added, table.rows.add, table.rows.add. In that way you can add the multiple rows statically into your page and it will create a table. Now this table has to be viewed to the user. For that, take a grid view 1. Grid view 1, why? Because in our case, let's go to the UI part. Here in a source you can see what is the ID? ID, it is a grid view 1. Even in a design also you can identify this one. This one with the name as in a here grid view 1 you can see. So above this grid view you can see that it's the ID, or even by going to the properties you can identify that it's the ID. Here in the properties you can see here its ID is a grid view 1. So in this code, grid view 1 dot data source is equal to table, assign it, and then grid view 1 dot data bind. So this table will be binded with this grid view 1. Now let's run this program and let's see the output. See, this is the output. So ID, name and this email ID has been created in this tabular form in this data table. So it is an in-memory presentation of your data. With the help of the grid view, it has been displayed. Now we will take another example, and in that example we will learn how to copy this table, data table, with the help of the copy function. And even another, this is a different way that you can add the data into this data table. So same, first of all namespace, add this using system.data. After that create object table, data table class object. Here name is given as an employee. Now here add the columns employee ID, name and email. Now the employee ID, suppose we want to present it in the form of the integer, then we have to write it down type of int, As the next one, name and email ID we are considering as in a string, so no need of this type of. After adding the columns, now look at the next line, data row. So this data row, it is the one of the class. It is used to create the new rows. So write down the data row. Now this data row class created its object row1 is equal to table. Now what is this table? Table, it is a name of this data table. This is a object of this data table class. So table dot new row. New row, this function, this method, it is used to create the new row. So when you type here after this table, that is your object. So here it gives you some methods that you can use. So among that we require the new row. Add these rows, row 1. Now row 1 means it is your first row. So first row object. In bracket you have to specify the column names properly. So write down this column names is equal to 101 value. So row 1 name is equal to Suchita, row 1 email ID is equal to suchita@example.com. So in this way, suppose I want to add a second row, what you will do? You will write down data row 2 is equal to table means it's the object of this data table dot new row, and then add these fields. Again, at the end, add these rows into this table. So write down table dot rows dot add, and then row 2. In this way, you can add the multiple rows over there. So once you have done with the number of rows, then you can bind it with the grid view data source table and grid view data bind. Once you have done this one, data bind, it will bind with this table and it will be displayed in the grid view 1. Then we can use two functions, copy function and the clone function. For that, I have taken the another two grids, grid view 2 and grid view 3. You can see it's the UI part. So here the first one, this is the data table that you have created. Second one, copy of the data table, and third one, it is a clone of the data table. So for copy of the data table, as per theory, that it will copy the structure, that is the columns, as well as the data, actual information. But in case of the clone, it is just copying the structure. So here what we have to write down, just create a new table object, data table 1 is equal to new data table 1 is equal to, now see here, table dot copy. Now it will copy the whole table. Table means what? Your first object of the data table. So it will copy all the data, and then we have to bind it to represent it, that grid view 2 dot data source is equal to table 1, so which is a copied one, and then bind it, data bind function. Next one, same, create another object and assign this object with this table dot clone. It will just copy the structure. But for to display it, we have to do some further coding for that. So right now it will not be get displayed, but it is just copying the columns. So let's check this one. Let's run this program. Okay, so here you can see the first one. This is the actual data table. So employee ID, name, and the email. Now second one, it is a copy of the data table, that is a table 1. And third one, clone, it is not getting displayed. It requires to import that data columns, and after that it will work. So with the simple function it will not work, just it is copying only these columns into the memory. But to represent it, we have to do some additional coding part. So this is about clone of the data table. So in this program, we have learned that how to create a data table, different rows, and then how to copy that data with the different ways. This is a one way, and another way we have seen, this is a very simple one with the one single line. This also you can add this information. Okay, now we will stop here. So we have learned today data table and data row concept. Thank you.